from the outside, everything was going great.
We had everything by anyone's standards that anyone could ever want to be successful. You know, I mean, I had these two beautiful children. I had a beautiful house in Huntington Beach. I mean, we had everything going for us.
Behind closed doors, things were pretty ugly. There was a lot of fighting. There was verbal abuse on my part, a lot of drinking.
We'd have these terrible knockdown, drag-out fights, and then he would apologize and be good. And it was like this vicious cycle. I just couldn't reach him, and I couldn't help him see what blessings we had and what a great life we were having, and how his anger was getting in the way of seeing a lot of it.
There was nothing she could say. There was nothing she could do to make things better. I would always find something different that would cause things to be bad again.
I do not understand. I do not understand how everything is wrong.
And every time I go to bed at night and I would pray, like sometimes in the fetal position, how can I get out of this? How can I help our marriage? How can I save my family? How can I do this better? You know, kids have that intuition. I think they know that's not right. Like, why are they fighting all the time? And I think that's when I started thinking, this isn't good for them. This isn't right, showing them what I want for them when they grow up. And I have to do something because I don't want them to, I don't want them to find a marriage like this one.
Michelle was over there, and I started saying, I should just move out. This is just terrible. Why don't we just get a divorce? And in the softest, gentlest voice, Michelle said, for the first time, maybe you should.
I just remember being just done in every sense of the term. And done being married. I was done.
That moment, I knew if I didn't do something now, I was going to lose my wife.
And that's when he went upstairs. I don't even know what he did because I was sobbing in the kitchen, and he grabbed a bunch of stuff and he walked out the door.
I was in the parking lot, and I looked in the mirror and I said, God, you got to get me out of this. You got to get me out of this. I'll do whatever you want me to do. One of the ways that God was working on my life was that at 4 o'clock in the morning, while driving to work, I could either listen to Howard Stern.
And all that. Well, today on Focus on the Family,
started
we're
to
joined
make
by a
me
couple
think
whose
about
relationship was broken.
My
But they
life
discovered God at work,
and
you
how
won't
all this
believe what
God
happened.
stuff works.
Our host is author and
Some of the
focus
messages
writer
were
Jim
so
Jim.
profound to me that I would stay up and listen to it when they re-aired it later on that night.
Yeah, I was craving a connection with my husband.
The kids were at a soccer game, and he shows up at the field, and I don't even want to talk to him. I don't know what to do. I don't know what he's going to say to me. And he very quietly, in the most respectful way, says, "Can I talk to you after the game?" And I already know something's different. I said, "Sure." And I remember him saying, "I'll do anything it takes for the rest of my life to make sure you're okay." I think that moment was the beginning of the pieces falling back together. None of it was easy after that, you know. My promise, I think, to God at the time was, as long as he was moving forward and making better choices, I would try. And he would keep doing something different and doing something new, and he'd ask me out on a date, and I was like, oh my God, we actually get to date. But we couldn't have done any of it if God hadn't intervened.
The third line of Corinthians 4-8 is, love does not demand its own way. And for 35 years, man, I was basically demanding my own way. So I moved back in. Was it perfect? No. Was it difficult? Absolutely. But it's much, much, much better. And we're 25 years in.
I'm proud that our story is different. I'm proud that we stuck it out, and I think our kids are. I think our kids are blown away that their parents didn't get a divorce at the brink.
Focus on the Family had a hand in helping my marriage because there are so many things that they provide for marriages, and the messages were so powerful on God's forgiveness and God's grace and God's patience with us. Focus on the Family was so significant in saving my marriage.